What's up, everybody? How do we stop inflation? Well, I got a few step process that if I was in charge, and because we talk about problems and stuff like that in the world, but we got to come up with some solutions. So if I was in charge, which obviously I'm not, here's what I would do to stop inflation, and it's pretty simple. If somebody asked me the other day, "Oh, you always talking about inflation, you can't stop it," blah blah. So here's my, I guess, 6-step process into stopping inflation. The first thing you got to do is stop printing money. I mean, duh. I mean, we're creating, and when I say money, guys, we all know what the money is. The real money is gold and silver. That's the only money that ever has been and never will be, in my opinion. But money is based on confidence and what people believe in too. So, the CBDCs and maybe Bitcoin or some other currency, some other digital currency or something like that will be considered money, but the real money is gold and silver. And we know that's been like that for thousands of years. I mean, but now we're printing money out of thin air. When I'm referring to money, I'm talking about currency, okay? The fiat monopoly money that they got out here. There's 180 currencies in the world. When I'm talking about inflation, I'm specifically talking about the US of A, okay? Anytime you make a how-to video, by the way, you get some new people watching. So real quick, I'm Jerry from Jerry Loves Freedom and Decentralized Assets. I do talk about politics a lot. I talk about world events when it comes to economics and stuff like that. But I'm really all about my freedom. Sometimes I'm going to sound like I'm on the red party. I am not. I'm not on the blue party. I'm too red or too conservative for the red party, and I'm too liberal for the blue party. Sometimes I consider myself a libertarian. Depends on what faction of libertarian is. I love Ron Paul. If I had to have a president, you couldn't make one better than Ron Paul. And I like Rand Paul, his son too. But I consider myself an American, a constitutionalist, and I'm on the red, white, and blue team. That's where I'm coming from. So I digress. So number one, stop printing money. Stop creating money out of thin air. That's the first thing. Second thing is lower the Fed's balance sheet. Okay. They got the treasury notes and the mortgage, which are mortgage-backed securities. Guys, the central bank has a balance sheet just like we do, right? We got assets, liabilities. They got cash, currency, all in the system, and these things that they're buying, and they need to just clear it off the books. Okay. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a long video, and it's kind of complex. So Google the Fed's balance sheet and what it is and what the Fed's job is, because the Fed's job basically is this: they're here to maximize employment. Okay, stabilize the economy, make sure we have a fair and balanced monetary system. They're not in charge of the fiscal policy. That's somebody else. I know monetary and fiscal means the same thing. And they're here to mandate long to midterm interest rates, okay? But the main thing is they need to get... Sorry, guys, I ran out of space on my other phone. Shout out to Alex at T-Mobile Metro PCS in Las Vegas for getting me a new one. Thank you so much, Alex. So that was number two, basically lower the Fed's balance sheet. Their main job is to do the things that I said earlier. They need to have moderate to long-term interest rates, and they're in charge of the monetary policy. So they need to make sure employment's low and everything else. But the main thing is they have to clear off the books, man. Get rid of those treasuries, aka the mortgage-backed securities. All right. Now here's number three. That was the first two. Here's number three. The banks that we use, that we put our money in, they need to increase the minimum capital requirement. Now here's what I mean. Have you guys ever heard of fractional reserve banking by any chance? If you haven't, pause it and Google it. Pause this video and Google it. Basically what it is the bank's form of printing money. That's what they do. They just create money out of nowhere. It used to be down to 10%. So when you put cash in the bank, it's no longer yours, guys. It belongs to the bank. And whatever you put in your savings account, they take that money out and they lend it out to somebody else. That's why you barely get any interest on it, and they loan it to someone else for a higher interest rate that they're barely giving you. And they can take, they think they can times it by 9 or 10 or something like that and just create money out of thin air. They could take your 100 and turn it into 1,000 or whatever it is, 100 or whatever it is. And it's absolutely insane. It's the bank's way of creating just even more money into the system. Anything that creates more money, I'm completely against it as far as inflation. That's what causes inflation. Printing money by the Fed and printing money at the banks. They need to increase the bank's capital requirements in there and stop printing it, period. So so I'll give you an example, because right now it's 0%. The bank can take your money, your $100, and completely take all your 100 out and loan it to somebody else. It used to be down to 10%. If you put 100 in, they had keep 10% of yours, or $10, take the other $90 and then loan it out. Now it's 0. They can take the whole thing. So they need to keep at least $50 in there at the minimum. I think it should be more, but let's just say at the minimum to keep it realistic. But they shouldn't be able to do fractional reserve banking anymore. They should not be able to just create money out of thin air. It should all be fair and balanced, and they should be able to take 50% of your money out of the bank, and then they should be able to loan that out. But they should automatically keep 50% in there. All right, that's number 3. Number 4. Now here's the thing. We need to, as a country, now remember, this is for the United States. Okay, this is number 4. We need to take an audit of every single ounce of gold we have in the world. Okay? And when I mean every single ounce, I mean every single ounce. Every single ounce in Fort Knox, every single ounce in all the treasuries and the safeties and the banks and stuff like that. Now, when I mean every ounce, I don't want to be tyrannical when I say this and confiscate everybody's gold, but I will say this, and this is going to be the tough part, because you know what happened in 1933 when they confiscated everybody's gold. This is the part I'm struggling with. If it is for really doing what I'm talking about, like let's say Ron DeSantis became the president and he really was doing this to stop inflation, right? I think what they should do, and I'm thinking about this as I'm talking, I think they should take an audit of the. Now, I mean, like all the evil people that are running the world right now, they're gone. I'm not talking about the dudes at the WEF and all that. Those guys are gone. Let's say we had a great president like Ron DeSantis and the vice president, Kerry Lake, because those two would be a great ticket. And they were really doing what they're doing. They take an audit of all the gold that we have, us personally, the silver we have, and all the gold that's in the ground, right? Now, this is in America now, not all over the world, just in America, because there's a lot of gold in the world. We're just talking about monetary and fiscal policy and stopping inflation here in the United States, right? They need to count it all up. Once they get that number counted, I think whatever the number is, I think we should go out there and keep it a secret now. We're not going to tell anybody around the world what we're doing, which is going to be hard to do, and go acquire gold, as much as gold as we can, and keep it in our reserves. Also, everyone in the country will know exactly how much gold we have, and then not much gold you have, but how much ounces of gold that we have in the country, and also how much gold we have in the ground, and it's above board. Everybody in the world knows exactly how many ounces of gold there are in the world, right? Okay, so number 5, we have to create a brand new currency based on that gold and the silver. Now I'm talking about silver. Now here's the tricky part, right? So silver is a metal that is used for industrial use. I think we should take a certain percentage. I don't know the percentage, to be honest. I don't know what percentage we should use, but take the certain percentage of silver, and we're not going to make any currency back to the silver. I think all the currency, the fiat paper currency, should be back to gold, and then all our change, dollar, we can use dollar Morgans, 50-cent pieces, quarters, 25 cents, quarters, dimes, some nickels and stuff like that, and all the change should be based on silver. So what we should do is we should take all the constitutional, be able to reset it, use that all, and then take some silver, a small percentage now, because we still need it for industrial purposes, melt it down and turn it into real tangible silver that we can spend, like constitutional silver. So we'll have some old stuff, and then we'll have the new stuff, and we'll be minting it every once in a while based on how much we need around the world. I think we should do that. Every single $1 bill, $10 bill, 20, 50, $100 bill should all have something with the gold certificate on it. It should look completely different than it does now, because every other dollar that is not backed by gold, the ones that we have now, is going to be counterfeit, right? Like this right here, this would be counterfeit. It would be no longer in use. And every single dollar should have that set on it. It should be backed by gold, and this is a gold certificate. And obviously they take all the measurements of security to make sure that no one duplicates it and it's not counterfeited. All right. Now, number 6, we have to reset all prices based on the new money, the new prices of goods and services, and also we have to set wages and salaries to the new monetary, the new money, the real money, because now we can call it money because it's back to something. It's back to gold, and the change is back to silver. Let's just say, for instance, we have this many tons of gold and this many tons of silver, and the weight of the how they weighed it out, WEIGHT, like the weight of it, not the actual weight of the gold and silver, but how they weigh out the percentage between gold and silver used for money. Maybe it's like, 85% gold and then the 15% change for silver or something like that. It'll be based on how much we have. And then let's just say we go back to, one silver dime will be a tank of gas or something like that. That way there will be no more inflation, right? Because we already know what we're going to mine in the ground. We know what we have above ground, and we know what we have in our pockets and in the bank. We know everything. So there'll be no more inflation. From 50 years from now, 100 years from now, you still get a tank of gas at these said prices for a dime. This will be a quarter, maybe it's a quarter or whatever. A slice of pizza will be 50 cents or whatever it is. And then money will be hard to get. What this will do, this will keep everyone in check. It'll keep the government in check. They won't be doing these crazy monetary spending. That's kind of like number 7. This will force them to not overspend. Now, the tricky part is the debt, the national debt we're in. There's no solution to that. I will say, I can make a video and break that down. We're never going to pay it back. Never. So we can do what we can do to try to pay it back and get it down eventually. But at least it'll stop putting us in debt. But we're just too far in debt. We're at almost, $31.5 trillion in debt, plus all the other stuff. That's just the one that's above board. There's another one that makes it over 100 trillion, according to some people. So yeah, so that's what I think we should do. Steps 1 through 6. There you have it. That's my humble opinion, how we can stop inflation. Now, let me say this. Will that ever happen? Absolutely not. It will never happen. Let me make sure I say that so you guys understand. I don't do pipe dreams, guys. It's not going to happen. I wish it would. If we had great president like Ron DeSantis and Kerry Lake, but they're still not in charge, because remember, we're in a three-pronged government. It's judicial, executive, and legislative branch. And the way this stuff is, greed is just always too crazy. So I wish it was like that. But until then, keep stacking your cash for short term, your gold, your silver, and your Bitcoin. All right. That's my cause for. That's my way to stop inflation. Let me know what you guys think about my idea about stopping inflation, and what do you guys think about stopping inflation? Leave it in the comment section below. Do me a favor, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button, only if you like it. If you like my channel and my videos, go ahead and share it. Alex, I appreciate you getting me that phone. Share my video. All right. Get you some Bitcoin, young lady. You're only 32 years old. You guys are young too. Get you some Bitcoin. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you guys, and let's keep on stacking. Let's keep it going, and let's keep it real. Love your family. Love your country. Love God, and stay safe. Peace and love.